In 1948, a crash happened in the Cowden Tunnel when a steam engine burst. Only one person was injured, and the residents thought that another crash probably wouldn't happen. They couldn't be more wrong. The Upfield-Oxted rail line was mostly double track. However, at Cowden, it merged into one track. It used to be double track until 1990. 15th of October, 1994. The 8 a.m. Upfield-Oxted DMU train 2E27 consisted of 3-car Class 205 thumper units 205018, which consisted of DMBSO 6154, TSO 6650, and DTC SOL 6800, and 205001, which consisted of DMBSO 60117, TSO 6674, and DTSOL 6028, crewed by driver Brian Barton and guard Jonathan Brett Andrews. Jonathan had really wanted to become a driver and had been reprimanded 2 times for driving trains. They were both in the front of the cab at the time. At Ashurst, it was supposed to wait until the down train would pass it. The down train was the 8:04 a.m. down Oxted Uckfield train 2E24, consisting of 3-car thumper units 205029, consisting of DMBSO 60147, TSO 60667, and DTC SOL 6817, and 205032, consisting of DMBSO 6150, TSO 6677, and DTC SOL 6831, crewed by driver David Reeks and guard R. Boyd. The morning was a bit foggy. At 8:25 a.m., 2E27 left Ashurst and broke through the points and ran a red signal. 2E24 had just left Cowden when the two trains ploughed into each other. The trains were bent and twisted. It was unclear who was driving when the crash occurred due to the sheer destruction. 5 people died and 13 were injured. 205018 flipped onto its side, detached from its bogies. But what the heck happened? Jonathan Brett Andrews was probably driving the train against the rules, and as being uneducated would have probably not known the rule that if a signal was not clearly visible that you should always assume it's red. In this crash, it was quite foggy, which had obscured the signal. This crash was the worst in Network South Central's history. The AWS system was likely either turned off or not working properly. AWS magnets were fitted to maintenance depots to tell if a train at the depot has a faulty AWS system. Cab-secure radios were introduced to improve communications between trains. It was found that the designs of the trains themselves was a factor that amplified the crash. Their design of a body attached onto a separate chassis without any crumple zones would cause telescoping and overriding, as seen here. This would lead to test of a couple coaches equipped with crumple zones at Dalby Test Track, where 2 consists were forced to collide. They did so with minimal damage and no derailing. This technology would later be equipped to later trains. The Class 205s would be taken out of service in 2004 and replaced by the Class 171 Turbostars. Network South Central would later be bought by Connex and rebranded to Connex South Central in 1996. In 2001, it would be bought out by Govia Thameslink Railway and rebranded as Southern Rail. Southern Rail itself has built a reputation of being the worst railway company in England, with many nicknames such as Southern Snail and Southern Fail. In the end, 205001 was repaired and put back into service, however was withdrawn in December 2004 and the middle TSO car 6650 was scrapped, but then the other cars were later preserved at the East Kent Railway painted in the BR blue paint scheme. 205018 suffered a similar fate, however it was withdrawn in August and was restored at Lavender Lane Railway Museum and painted into BR blue paint scheme. TSO 60674 was scrapped. 205029 was damaged beyond repair and scrapped. 205032 was repaired and put back into service, however would be withdrawn in October 2004 and then preserved at the Dartmoor Railway and painted in the BR green paint scheme. All surviving units are operational. A plaque was made on the station building reading, "Always remembered, 15/10/1994.